What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We're back. So this is Mike. Now he's usually on Don Fran's show. Actually, I don't know if this is going to be on both channels or not. Um, so I want to talk about your growth in general and how you plan on replacing your income. When it comes to AI, we're thinking we're on borrowed time, so we got to at least make the money we can, because I do think AI is just gonna take some traders out of the market. I
Sure.
think it's inevitable. I know not everybody shares that. But also you have goals, but it's very much a tortoise and the hare conversation.
Yeah.
And I've told people in my chat, like, ask Mike, ask him his story, ask him how he's doing it, because I sell options like you are. But I take directional trades. I do a little bit of everything. So,
Right.
but I'm essentially just a very fast turtle. There's much more aggressive traders that make more than me. I don't know what their losses look like. I can't speak to that. But just taking on that risk, not something I do. I'm very conservative, I guess. As conservative as you can be. I don't like saying the safe place. But what you and I are going to talk about a lot, I just have to call free internet money, because I haven't found a better term for it. Because that's really all it is. But I wanted to bring you on and have you explain it, because
Yeah.
maybe I'm just not, I can't talk to the humans very well, but I can speak to this. I'm going to click my thumbs the same amount of times as you are. Let's pretend you're in the beginning and you're going to make $7 and I'm going to make 7,000, if not
Mhm.
70,000.
Right.
And I think this is one of the downsides to having or being in a chat, is everybody's account is different. You could take the same play. Someone's just, because the things we trade and sell options on are liquid. I can fill one just as fast as I can fill 70 or 100, 200.
Right. Right.
So we all clicked our thumbs the same amount of times. I added a couple zeros. But when you're and you're a lot calmer than I am. Uh, Mike's mentioned money many times off camera that we need to work on my anxiety, and I need to chill. But before I hand over the microphone, um, I just think there's a lot of people that when they see bigger numbers, it's why I hesitate to post my numbers, because they see that and they think I just need to get to that level, and all I made was $7. Like, you know, seven people get excited when they find $7 in their pants pocket, out of the washing machine. They forgot. They get so excited off of that. But to take a trade and only make $7, like, they'd rather lose 3,000.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what you're doing, and walk us through what it's like to actually be the tortoise, and not the hare. And real quick, guys, this is not a joke. This is a very serious conversation, because there are people that are gambling and they're not getting anywhere in their account.
Right.
You've watched my growth account, right? Well, I'm still doing that. And you've noticed there's a lot of similar plays as far as like option selling, and just you collect less. But nobody cared about my growth account until it was up 140% in
Right.
9 months. Then everyone wanted me to restart it at zero again.
Yeah.
Okay, so speak to those people. Take the wheel now.
Yeah. Just throw me out there.
Yeah.
So something I noticed in your chat, which I think is very weird, is that they pay for a service and then ignore the advice. I've mentioned this a couple times, and you're right. People are doing a lot of gambling when it's not necessarily what you're preaching.
Yeah.
And I came in. I've been doing live streams in your chat as well, and I don't do exactly what you do, but I do a small portion of it, and only that. And that's really the wheel strategy. I'm collecting premium every week on a bunch of stocks, and I'm using that premium to buy more stocks. So I'm only going long. I'm dollar cost averaging into stocks that I like, but I'm basically generating income every week to do that. Now, to go back in history, like this is a slow process. I mean,
Yes.
when you're first starting out, you can only take one contract. You might make $7. You might make $9. On a good, when you're first starting out, a $20 week is great.
Yeah. Where you can finally get to Palantir or something and collect
Yeah, yeah,
$21.
when you get a $20 a week, you're like, wow, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Now that doesn't sound like a lot. It really isn't.
Mhm.
And this gets to the heart of where I think people need to just relax and just calm down and
Mm.
take a longer approach to this, because they are trying to gamble and make those big gains like
Mhm.
instantly. But there's so
Yeah.
much risk involved with that. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're taking the same trade I take, but for instance, I just took a GameStop trade. Um, now I bought 100 shares at $28 and sold it at 48. But 28, if that goes to zero,
Yeah.
is a literal, and I mean literally, hey, we're bankrupt, we're going off the market.
Yep.
That's my normal risk.
Hmm.
And my account supports that. I wouldn't even check my phone if I got that alert. Like, I just went to zero.
Yeah.
Sucks. Nobody obviously wants to lose. I'm not saying it's not a bad day, but at the same time, I go on. That's not a percent of my account.
Yeah.
And I think other people, they just, if they've never been there, then they just don't know, or it's like men with steroids. Like, I'm only gonna, and I don't know how many times I've heard this. Working at a gym, talking to friends that work out, I'm gonna take steroids once. I'm gonna get big, and then I'm gonna come off of it, and then I'm just gonna stay big, and I'll be honest, I'll be natural from then on out. And it's like they try to do that with their account. Let me just take one stupid little gamble.
Yeah.
This for sure gonna win, and then I'll trade normal, and then it sets them back a lot longer than they had ever really actually. If they were to sit down and think about it, it's never worth it. That's how I know they never sat down and think about it, because like the growth account, we deposit $150. Like, you lose $300. That's 2 weeks of nothing just to
Right.
get back to where you were.
Yeah.
$40 sounds a whole lot better than 2 weeks behind.
And something else that happens is once they have a big loss like that,
Mhm.
they end up trying to do crazier stuff to try to make up that
Oh,
loss.
yeah. Yeah,
And
I've already lost 1,000. What's another 1,000? They have a
right,
$3,000 account. You're like,
right.
just the rest of it.
Yeah, let, let,
Like, yeah,
let,
why
let
not?
me lotto this earnings play and see if I can make up that 1,000 I lost. And it's like, oh
Yeah.
god.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, I think the takeaway is don't try to get in a hurry. Be patient.
Mhm,
And I'll just give you from my own example. I've been running the wheel for a couple of years now,
mhm,
um, and I'm pretty successful at it. And luckily, like something you had said to me, actually even made it clear
mhm.
that I don't take losses anymore at all. Like I haven't had a loss in the last 5 or 6 months. Period. Like
Yeah,
like I does it do I get assigned something? Sure, but I haven't sold it for a loss. I'm still collecting income on those things that I've been assigned.
yeah.
Um, so I'm just continuing to build my capital and my shares uh, for quite some time now, and it's starting to snowball. And I think that's
Mhm.
where people they think, all right, I can't do this for a year or two, because in the beginning it is painful. Like I said, you get 7, 9, 10, $20, whatever. But it does start to snowball. Like you eventually you start making the $50 a week, and then you're making 150, and then 300, and like every year it gets better. And once you get a little
Mhm.
bit higher, it actually starts to move a little bit faster.
Yeah. I
So
I was just gonna say, like, the second now I've done the growth account. I'm not starting it over again. I'm gonna take this
right,
thing to 1,000,000.
yep,
We're at, what, 6 grand right now, from 0. I feel like once you get to $200 a week, that's when it starts moving, because you're not just buying a share. If you're on Robinhood, you're not buying a fractional share. You're buying shares of some
right,
things,
right,
and then because remember, and the thing he's talking about that I said that makes it clear. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Was I said look at your shares as like a home. Like, home values go up and down all the time. How much rent are you collecting on that?
right,
Like, who cares? Just get your 100 shares. Now that thing go up, down, sideways, do whatever it wants. Collect some rent. You still got to be smart about it.
right.
But yeah, when you start collecting $200 a week, it's $400 a month. You're a month and a half, and now let's say
Eight,
you put
eight,
it in.
800 a month.
Oh, yeah, 800 a month. Yeah.
Yeah,
So 800 a month, you're 1 month in, and I just added SoFi to the growth account. That's $750. Now I
Right.
sold one contract for $9, and then now we're right back to that. Well, $9 isn't much.
Right.
Well, it's 800. Well, no, it's $836 now
Right.
because we just added a contract. That's a week of SoFi. So now there's just you grabbed a small little bungalow, small little house,
Yeah.
but it does. And if there's ever anything I wanted to hammer on this was so I did this in Ford shares, just shy of a decade. It collected a dividend. I made my own weekly dividend, and I took that premium and I just bought more shares.
Right.
And it wasn't long until I wasn't buying shares. I was buying the opportunity to sell another contract because you sell enough to buy another 100 shares.
Right.
And that's when that snowball is just that machine that doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Because you had a goal, right? You had a goal to completely replace your income. This is what I did think was cool was you had a goal and you started looking at how much you make a week. Because what's your do you have a goal percentage wise a week or premium? What is your like goal right? I'm talking about right now, like even in
Yeah.
the
But
beginning or
yeah. So overall, I mean, I work full time,
Mhm,
and I do have a goal to eventually replace my salary and benefits and stuff with enough income that I'm making from premium. That's
mhm,
the overall goal. To do that, I figured out if I can do 1% of the capital that I'm using,
mhm.
if I make 1%, so if I'm putting up $1,000, I got to get 10 back.
Yeah,
Um, so that's my goal. I've been meeting that every week, pretty easily, and eventually, and I've worked it out on this. Of course, it's a spreadsheet, right? That's my
mhm.
thing.
Yeah,
I'm probably within a couple of within 2 or 3 years of actually replacing my salary.
yeah. And that's not taking now as far as the growth count goes. I've taken one day trade. That's it. So everyone thinks to grow your account, you had to be at your screens and do it 5 million times. Uh, the first growth count I did for the 140%, 9 months, that was also one day trade throughout the whole year. That's because I made 50%, so I ended up just closing it. That's not even being a fast turtle. That is the actual turtle's pace as far as the turtle and the rabbit, the tortoise and the hare race. Everyone on Wall Street Bets on Facebook, all the stock twits, all the social medias, the YouTube, they're I get it because it's why they have millions of subscribers and I don't. They're talking about the rabbit trades. Uh, they like to show off the winning ones, but if they had to show off all the losses, it paints a different picture.
Right.
Um, because you take just as many, if not more. If you're a good trader, you're going to take just as many as you do the wins. Because even 50-50 is still a good trader as long as your risk management's correct. But people don't even have that down. They've
Yeah.
never even tried. Um,
Yeah.
but at a turtle's pace, 2 years. 2 years sounds like forever if you're watching the 5 minute chart right now. That does feel like forever. But man, what are you going to think 2 years from now when you're like, crap, I'm really glad I ignored the AMC trade and I never said tendies. I removed diamond hands out of my vocabulary. I got off stock twits and I just started doing what the profitable people do. What would like just put yourself in that position 2 years from now?
Yeah.
How amazing does that feel? Like the $7, it sucks right now. Yeah, you
Yeah.
sold a contract on Neo. That was a conversation yesterday. Sold a contract on Neo. You collected $4, $5. Now you spent $500. You're still in your 1% parameter, but that's $5 a week.
Un-
Like
until you buy the shares of something, and then it doubles.
yeah, yeah. The snowball's there, but not if you just melt the first snowflake you have.
Yeah.
Like it.
If I could recommend to anyone,
Mhm,
first couple of years, just de-risk everything. Do what we're doing. Take it nice and slow.
mhm.
Yeah. Is it painful at first? Sure, because you're like, it's boring. I mean, it
Yeah,
really is. I mean, which is
you'd
probably a
rather
good
beat your
thing.
head against the wall.
Yeah, it is
Mhm.
boring. You take the trade. You don't have to worry about it. You look at it on the next week.
Yeah,
You close it out. You open a new one. That's it. It is boring. It's not trading.
yeah.
But if you're new to investing, this is the way. At least for me, I would
Mhm.
recommend doing this for at least a couple of years so you understand what's going on. Make your capital and start that way.
I would do it the same way, and that's why like the growth account it mirrors my main trading account when I have the capital. But there's a reason why I stuck to, let me grab some shares, let me sell some options contracts against it, because I need that constant income to grow. I know it needs to snowball.
Right.
I've seen it because I've done it many times. I know what it turns into. Being new, it probably does suck. But if you were new, just pretend, I don't know, follow your favorite people. Who cares? Do this for a couple years, call it school, right?
School.
And then when you are collecting a few $100 a week, now if you want to just pause there, level that thing off, and then just trade away the premium that you made, so at least you don't go down. I collected $400 in premium this week. I can take a $400 day trade. If it goes to zero, you're set back a week.
Yeah.
That's it. But I bet by the time you do that, you won't even want to day trade, because it won't matter. You're like, that's nonsense. Why would I set myself back a week when this thing's really gaining momentum now? Because it's $400 this week, $1,600 a month. That's $3,000 a month. It quickly ramps up. The
Yeah. My,
it,
my my desire to day trade is a big
mhm.
fat zero. I mean, it's
What's crazy was the first challenge thing I ever did was the first one, right when I started YouTube, was $200. It was February 14th. And it grew to 16,800 by December. Most of those gains, it looked like Warren Buffett's account. Most of those gains were in that last month or two.
Mhm.
Yeah, when you're making $200, 10% week, yeah, it's $20, banging. And it was just leverage ETFs, but that's what I was doing. Let me get 6 shares, and then I'd sell it for a 10% profit, which is an amazing trade. It's an amazing swing trade. It took absolutely forever. I could have destroyed that gambling one contract at any moment in time, and then at the end of the year, I still would have had a couple $100 because I had to pull the little coins out of my coin purse, put it in the slot machine again. And that's what it would have been. I would have just been daydreaming about the profits I could make if one ever did go off. But I grew that to almost a full PDT account. I wasn't far off from that. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, do it. We've been calling it the turtle way or the slow way, but that really is the fact. The other way is just non-existent.
Yeah.
The other way is for Instagram when you finally get a winner. Look how much I made. You get a digital high five from somebody you've never met, never gonna meet on Discord or something like that. Someone on Facebook gave you a like. Sweet. That's nothing. The real fast way is just to grow it. Yeah, it's that's why. And what spurred this is because I keep telling people, the people in my chat that are pulling this crap, like, ask Mike what he's doing, because it's amazing, because he's taking what he's gotten and he's just going to keep doing that without a hitch. Something I've done for years now, so I know what this is going to turn into.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
yeah, you're about 2 years away. No one I
Yeah.
usually talk to says they want to replace my income in 2 years. They're like, I want to do it 6 months, 6 days, and then their whole account in something dumb. Like, here it comes.
Yeah. And I think people get caught up into they want to they see people who have done it already
Mhm.
and their bank accounts are way bigger.
Yeah.
So I think there's a fallacy to think that I can have my bank account that big in a shorter amount of time.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
just not the case. You gotta go through the first part. You gotta take your lumps for the first couple of years,
Mhm.
figure it out, and then it starts to really snowball, like you said.
Yeah, it's like they ignore I've been doing this for 11 years. They're like, "Hey, guys, really, if I could make one video and make you a super trader, like, that video would be out. The Discord would just be us just hanging out, talking about how much money we made randomly one day."
Right.
Just Fortunately, it just doesn't work that way. There's the real world aspect to this.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, it's still to the same aspect. Even doing it the way Mike's doing it, because it's the conversation we had a long time ago. I don't ever compare myself to the S&P, because if I ever was ever even that close, I wouldn't trade at all. I would just buy the S&P.
Right.
That'd be it. Like, yeah, there we go. If I was even a percent off, don't care. No, like, that's obnoxious
Right.
compared to the S&P. Like, when I'm managing $20 billion, then I'll worry about it. But right now, with the advantage of a small trader under 100 million, no, the S&P is a joke.
Yeah.
Like people that don't trade are probably gonna laugh at that last statement, but well, I'll let you know when the S&P beats me one year. Like I could take a 50-week vacation. That's and well, you probably can't take a 50-week vacation. Yours is a little bit. You could probably still take 6 months off and beat the S&P.
I've already beat the S&P right now.
Yeah. Yeah, so you could take if the S&P was your only goal, that's taxes paid and everything.
Right.
You could still take 6 months off a year.
Yeah. I will, at this point in time, from January 1 to now, I have beat it, and I will, unless it goes absolutely insane,
Mm,
I will continue to. I will, like I said, if I stop trading today, I'll still beat it by the end of the year.
yeah. Yeah. If they followed the growth account, we're up. I did the math today. Aside from the people that, if you followed me from 0, then you're up 36% today as of options expiring worthless right now today. Literally right before this finished up the math. 36%. Look at that. He's just frozen right in his time. Look how shocked Mike is. Anyway, he might pop back. He might not. Mike took all his gains and moved out to the sticks. So that's why he has little gerbils that read off the code from an AOL disk. He just texted me that he lost me. Let me try to bring him back in one more time. But we're about to end this regardless. Everything about this, for any new traders out there, this isn't to sell you a dream or anything. This is really, maybe he's back. Hang on, I heard the noise. He might be backstage. There he is.
I don't know what
I was
happened.
telling us how shocked and floored you
It
were.
wasn't me. It wasn't me this time.
Oh, really?
No,
I think you're trying to.
because you went out first.
I'm pretty sure that was you. Hopefully the recording's good.
I hope so.
Anyway, what I was getting ready to tell them, hopefully it recorded all the way through, was so we just made fun of beating the S&P. And if you followed Warren Buffett or whatever, I hate that stuff. Traders talk about that, which is also mind numbing. Someone who's brand new might come in and think we're selling them a pipe dream. How easy is it just to beat the S&P? You make it sound like everybody can beat the S&P. You can. The one thing I do want to point out is it's actually not magic. It's not as hard as people think. It's the difference in education. That's literally it. It's knowing how things actually work, not just some. We haven't mentioned a single indicator. Nothing, none of that. That doesn't get used. It's a difference in being the slot machine versus the person at the slot machine.
Yeah.
The people who are actually managing money. Now they do a lot of selling. There's by design these contracts do expire worthless, like 90% of them. I still do a lot of directional trading, but aside from that, because you'll know when you're at that level. People that just aren't, it should be to start at this pace.
Yeah. And
Um,
I would add one more thing. I
mhm.
would say discipline would be the
Yeah,
second thing. You have to follow. You have to have some discipline in not going outside of what you're supposed to be doing.
yeah, yeah. And if you want, so the Patreon is both of us. Um, there's always a link. Every YouTuber says it's always in the description. Um, but when you sign up, scroll up, and look at the call outs, because I screenshot, I post every play I do real time. Scroll up to the beginning when the account was $150, and I bought 7 shares of Palantir. You're thinking, that's it? Yeah. Yeah, I could do 0 days expiration on the S&P. I could just blow what I had right then and there. If you have $150, you don't have enough to buy a $50 0 days expiration options contract. You're stupid if you do. I could not afford to go backwards like that.
Mm-mm.
Um, so yeah, I mean, if you join now, you don't have to sit through the boring parts. You could literally scroll up and think, Wow, there's 7 shares, huh? Oh, he made $1.75 on Hood, but now it's up $1,500 now. So just saying, it 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 starts off slow. Here's what you should do. Everything we told you to do, but instead of being anxious and taking a dumb trade, put that energy towards I need more money in my account.
Hmm.
That's it. Now, this was a conversation I had last night with someone in the group. They said they're going to deposit more money. And I even said, do it in increments of $1,200 and sell a $12 put on Ford. That's it. So instead of taking that dumb trade of I need to make more money, you're right. You do need to make more money. But trading is not how you're going to do it. Go mow someone's yard. Go do so. Walk their dog. Every $20 you make to deposit into that account will be what's it? A penny saved is a dollar earned. Just think of it like that. Every $1 you deposit now is $100 later. So do what you have to do to make more money. Put it in the account because you're not going to take stupid trades. You're going to let that money make more money for you, and that's it. There are things you can't afford. Tesla probably going to be one of them right out of the gate. You just can't afford 100 shares of Tesla. So you're going to be in the SoFi ranks. Snapchat's pretty volatile. You break into Ford or Hood or Palantir, but eventually it'll be enough to you're doing Amazon and the other ones that are paying $400 a week. Sorry.
Yep.
So yeah, put that energy towards I need to deposit more. What can I do? Every time you think you're about to take a stupid trade, go mow someone's yard. Better yet, go do it half off. If the going rate's $45 a yard, for having that stupid thought in your head, go mow someone's yard for $15. And at least there you'll come out $15 ahead, and not take some stupid trade and lose all your money. That's what you should do.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, anything else you want to add to that?
No, I mean, just if you want to learn what we're talking about, join the group, and then we'll start you slow.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's really, and be patient. I think that's probably one of the biggest things you got to learn. You got to learn your patience because it just takes time.
Mm-hmm. It does, but the fastest way to do it, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. That it just doesn't make any more sense than in this scenario right now.
Yeah.
Like because I guess people just don't. The whole point, the takeaway of this video is how detrimental it is. Just how much you lose by losing just a few bucks on some gamble.
Right.
Yeah, you can't afford to gamble. So, all right, I'll
agree.
wrap up here. I've sent so many people your way just for you to explain that to them. I thought let's just make a video
Yeah.
and post it because you're much calmer than I am.
Yeah. Well, I had quite a few people in the morning session ask about that. I'm like, okay, here.
Yeah,
This is a good video to have.
yeah. You didn't call anybody stupid, and
No.
I'm out here like falling out of my chair, about to break a keyboard, snapping it in half over my legs. Like, why did you take that stupid trade?
It's all good. You know what? We're here to help everyone. So I mean, that's the key, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, you're the human speaker. I'll translate to the robots for you guys later.
All right.
All right. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Thanks for recording that for everybody.
Yeah. No worries.
So cool. Do all the cool stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. Comment your thoughts down below, and someone's gonna tell me how much they gambled and made. I want to hear it because I do like when there's a win when there's a gambler.
Look, I'm happy for him.
Yeah,
I really am. I mean, that's cool. It is.
Yeah, there is someone in the group. I want to shout him out. His name's Vinay. Vinay's first trade was GameStop or AMC on that first pump. But back when it first pumped up, I was calling everybody dumb. You know, I probably had some better words I could have used. But I said, that's not how the stock market actually works. Congrats on making that money. Now take that luck and let's get serious about it. And he did. He was one of the ones that did get serious, and now he's a regular trader. Where else was I going with that? Yeah, one of the worst things that could happen to you when you're new is winning on some luck like that.
Right.
because you make a bunch of money and you think you got it figured out. You think just one more time. It's never enough for some reason. Literally never enough. And then they're screwed.
It
So,
is.
yeah, that's the last little piece. I'm glad I remembered that. Yeah, just chill. If you made money, congrats. I do want to hear about it. But share your experience starting out. Then we'll see you guys Sunday for the Sunday Stock Talk. Have a good one.
See you guys.